Friday, Friday, Friday.
Friday. What are you,
Friday.
old?
Man, yeah, a little bit. Maybe. I can't say it. It doesn't come out.
Friday-o.
Friday.
Friday-yo.
It's Friday.
Don't do yayo.
Friday.
Raffle day.
Yeah, Moonbirds raffle day. We finally, everyone finally gets to gets to find out how they spend their 2.5 ETH.
I know that's gonna be so.
See, they're gonna be on a Moonbird.
Super sexy time for the people who get it. Super sexy time.
Been hearing a lot about this Moonbirds thing.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say sexy time.
Sexy time, yeah. Maybe not. Here for the health update, man. Yep, feeling a lot better. A lot better. Yesterday was it was all right towards the end of the day, but the morning was a rough one.
Do you have Timmy Hortons right now?
No, just the usual pot of coffee that I made.
I
don't even know what it is. You know what? There's like there's a Tim Hortons on every single corner in this country, except where I live.
I was like, oh wait, yeah, different country. Go ahead.
Yes, yeah. I don't know what's comparable over there. I know there's a lot of Starbucks over there. We have quite a few of them too.
Fucking Starbucks.
Dunkin' Donuts.
I got angry at someone for going to a Starbucks yesterday. Who was it? No, I can't remember.
Why?
I think they were in like Seattle or. Oh no, they were in Colombia. Said you're in Daniel. Are you listening right now? You were in Colombia. You went to a Starbucks. There should be a fine Colombian coffee roaster right near you in Bogota.
You don't think they don't use local beans there?
Yeah, well, you know what? That's actually a fair point. You know, you go to the Alaska McDonald's and the McFish there uses the local salmon. Not the McFish, but they have, the McDonald's sources local ingredients. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, as much as possible. I mean, it's expensive to move shit around all over the place, right? Yeah, the McDonald's that I went to in Hawaii years ago, you get pineapple with everything. That was cool.
Ooh.
A little pineapple in the diet. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
I've heard it sweetens your energy, pineapple.
Can only imagine where you're going with that.
Oh.
What a morning.
Could you?
Friday. Happy Easter. I don't know who celebrates Easter. My family's never been a big.
It's not Easter. Easter's always on a Sunday.
Well, okay, Good Friday. Easter's never been like
Friday.
a big. Yeah, happy Good Friday. Speaking of fish, this used to be the back in my restaurant days. This was all fish. All you did, fish and chips, all day long. Maybe I'll have fish and chips today.
Is that like the local law in Canada?
No, I think that's everywhere. I think it's like you're not like it's kind of like a religious thing to not eat like red meat or something. I guess fish is acceptable. Fish and chips. I don't know the details on it. All I know is that we used to sell, or I'm sure they will today too, an extraordinary amount of fish and chips.
There is nothing healthier for you than raw fish.
We were talking about sushi before, yeah.
It has the nutrients that have not been cooked out.
Yes.
It is so full of the amino acids and oils your body needs to do what it does best, R2. Oh,
I think it's maybe it might be a sushi day. I don't know. We're gonna figure that out.
Hell yeah, sushi for lunch. That's what I'm saying. It's a sushi day.
Let's all do sushi. Man, cool. How you doing today? Feeling good? Feeling
great? I feel like $1 million.
$1 million? Yeah, it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good weekend. It's gonna be a good month. Everything's looking great, man.
Yeah.
Feeling good about it.
Ready?
Ready? Hit it. GM DJs, and welcome to the April 15th AM morning show, episode 112. It's going to be a good day. bit more to talk about than we've had in the past. It's Coolpets after 2 months delay, maybe more. Can't even. Yeah, exactly. Finally launched yesterday, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Some mixed reception there. I've heard good things. I've heard bad things. What else did we have on the docket? We have VEEFriends delayed, launched, delayed again. Alien Friends doing their Evo evolution thing. And then, of course, some news for you and a couple of new anime projects that I can't even call it a meta or a niche anymore. That train just keeps rolling. So on that note, I am your host, R2DGen, and I am joined with me, as always, by Free Market Capitalist.
Hey now.
It's Friday. It's a holiday for most people, I think. Is it a holiday in the States too? Yeah, of course it is, right? Is that how it works? I don't know.
Up here, everybody gets the day off. The stock market's open.
No, it's not. It's
closed.
Oh, well. I mean, I'll double check for you, but unless they were just talking about the
so all we have to judge the health of risk is crypto.
Yeah, it's holiday. So as of that chart finished yesterday at 4 p.m. Central.
Futures are probably open right now. I think I'll tell you what futures are saying. They'll close them at 1 p.m.
The only thing we have to talk about.
What?
Yeah.
You kids and you're laughing. Calm down there.
Yeah. No fun. No fun zone. No fun. Let's talk about crypto. Again, since we were by the way, my apologies for not making it yesterday. As I said in the show, feeling better. Or at the pre-show, feeling better. Yesterday was a little rough, but nothing really has changed in the crypto market in that time. We had a little bit of a swell up to 3,100 for ETH. It kind of dipped back down to 3,000. Bitcoin maintaining its level above 40,000. It's definitely been testing those support levels a couple of times, and they seem to be holding pretty firm. Long weekends I've always found, and this might be anecdotal, interesting for crypto. Typically they can be pretty rough on them, but it's not always the case. I don't know if that is your experience or feelings as well. If the attention is kind of elsewhere, family stuff, other markets closed, anything like that. But what's your take on what's going on right now, and how are we looking going into the weekend?
Well, we had a very, very nice bounce above 3,100. It actually looked quite heartening, and we were going to go test that 3,200 resistance, but it was smacked back down quickly. Conversely, we slightly dipped under 3,000, and it was bought up quickly. But Goblin Town is knocking at the door. We're at 3,000, and like you said, we're going into a long weekend here. I would not be surprised to see them push it to 2,800, scare everybody a bit, do a little celebrating over the weekend. I think that would wake people up a little bit. People got a little complacent at 3,500, assuming higher prices were imminent. We knew there would be a small pause. I think now it's gone a little deeper than we expected, which is why the residents of Goblin Town have been popping their heads out. And we will see how it plays out this weekend. The band of support now to watch would be this 2,800 to 3,000 area. And that said, if we close decidedly under 3,000, the chart turns bearish short term. So we would have to see where it finally wanted to find support and start rallying again. All of that said, today is tax day here in the United States.
Ooh, true.
The financial pressure of people needing to cover their tax liabilities ends after today. We have obviously some major news with the Moonbird raffle today. That's either going to loosen up a bunch of money for people that did not make it. So we will see. I think there's some opposing forces here, but it actually could be a good formula for NFTs. I don't think NFTs would mind ETH 2,800. I already saw floors firming up a bit yesterday. Nothing too crazy, but certainly the floors that I watched seem to start firming up a bit. So as long as it's not too volatile, too much of a shock to the downside, if it was relatively orderly down to say 2,900 or even just hung out around here at 3,000. I actually think NFTs could have a good weekend as long as nothing too bananas happens. Feels like it could be setting up that way.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to point out something that Zane from AlphaMint kind of wrote down and shared his thoughts in the Moon Lounge there, just about how much is kind of sitting on the sidelines right now. And we don't often kind of anticipate this much, but we have Moonbirds, which is incredibly hyped. That's obviously, going to take about 20,000 ETH, out of the ecosystem with their sale. But right now, I would say there's probably at least 3 or 4 times that just sitting in wallets waiting for that raffle to kind of wrap up and people trying to figure out how they get to spend their ETH. The next big thing that's going to be going on is or it is ongoing right now. Of course, it's gone through a couple of delays, is the VEEFriends V2. They did launch. They got about 1,000 of them minted before they had to pause. So I think that they're looking to go live again today. I'm not really sure what the problem is with that, but I'm imagining they're hoping to avoid any kind of disaster like V Sports. But that in and of itself is probably going to be about 20,000 ETH. Going into the VEEFriends ecosystem via the sales. But of course, there is a lot of people waiting to see the secondary action, ETH on hand for that, and the public mint that's going to be coming up in 2 weeks, keeping some ETH on hand for that so that they can full send. It's going to be a 10,000 NFT drop just on the public. So people are going to be swinging for the fences with that, barring anything crazy happening in their very, very, very extended allow list mint. And then, of course, there is the looming ape land sale, where an estimated 100,000 ETH is going to be kind of accumulated in the sale for that. Some people saying it's going to be an ape coin. Some people saying it's going to be an ETH. I think at this point I've talked myself into the fact that it's going to be an ETH. But again, people are going to be keeping their liquidity tied up for a shot at 1, 2, or all 3 of these things. And when you start to multiply that out over not only the people that are going to be able to spend it, but the people that are going to be able to try to spend it, it definitely constricts things. The volume will definitely dry up, and people are less apt to spend it on some lower floors because they're thinking, I at least got to take my shot at this. What happens when we get through all of this, and we're going to get through Moonbirds today with the raffle, is that whatever pooled up liquidity was being on the sidelines, now that people decide they can't or aren't going to be able to use it on, is going to be free again. So I would definitely be looking for that. And then, of course, as Free Market just said, with tax time kind of finishing up, most people kind of liquidating whatever they need to be able to cover their tax burdens. We should be at a pretty good spot towards the end of April once we start to jump over a couple of these hurdles.
It's not some instant button. I actually think we've probably already started to see that pressure relieve itself. I mean, most people have today is the day. You better have it ready and good to go to turn in. So I do think that we are setting up to enter one of the more bullish periods for crypto, for spot, for markets in general, between this April 15th and early May period. So it would be interesting to see maybe NFTs rally this weekend as we get one last bear trap in crypto. And then I could really see ETH running to 4,000 and maybe NFTs taking a pause there. And then we could blame it on the liquidity event that happens also this weekend in NFTs. We'll see. It could fit that way. And then again, NFTs tend to be very, very bullish over the summer, whereas traditional markets are sell in May and go away. NFTs tend to be the opposite. So we're going to see.
Yeah, for sure. A couple quick news articles to get through. The first on the list is the daily "you're still early" kind of conversation. Not surprising, I guess, but most Wikipedia community members want crypto donations banned, says poll. Over 70% of voters in Wikimedia Foundation poll were against the platform receiving cryptocurrency donations. I do find it fascinating that most of these people use this incredible free service that's up online, and they are still willing to cut off a pretty sizable form of donations for this platform that they use for free. be willing to bet that most of them probably haven't donated to Wikipedia themselves. But again, there is that stigma that anybody that, you know, accepts cryptocurrencies is killing the environment, and they should all be very ashamed of themselves. We know that, of course, you know, that's not entirely true for sure. Mozilla,
I mean, they might as well have phrased it, would you like us to kill baby seals? Like, that's the, I don't think anybody thought about this too much. It was probably a question stacked amongst a bunch of others. And right now, crypto triggers false narratives in the heads of normies. So 47%, that doesn't even seem like a lot. That actually seems good for crypto.
No, it's over 70%.
Over, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's it was a overwhelming majority. You know, the thing about Wikipedia is, and they've said it publicly, when they receive cryptocurrency donations, they do transfer it over to fiat immediately. They've deemed that, you know, their particular actions are not overly energy intensive and whatnot, but it still doesn't change that stigma in people's minds. Mozilla, of course,
pay for cocaine and strippers and crypto. Yeah. Wait, what?
The Mozilla also was accepting cryptocurrency donations. They have recently backtracked it last week and said, we got it wrong. We heard you. We've evolved. This one tweet from, I guess, the founder of Mozilla from back in the day, at JWZ. Hi, I'm sure that whoever runs this account has no idea who I am, but I founded Mozilla and I'm here to say fuck you and fuck this. Everyone involved in this project should be witheringly ashamed of this decision to partner with planet incinerating Ponzi grifters. Awesome.
What does Mozilla do again?
Really. Oh yeah, Firefox.
Oh, Firefox, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, good. I need to not use that browser. So you know what I'm thinking of? Brave. What do we think of the Brave? Don't you get like a token too, a basic attention token?
That is correct. Yeah, Brave is. I've never actually used it, if I'm being honest with you, but Brave has always been a pretty well-respected browser in the crypto community. They did go through a little bit of a scandal where they were when people were logging into let's say Coinbase or something for the first time, and they were signing up for it. Brave on the back end was switching the link into a referral link for them and collecting the referrals on that end. So there was a little bit of a shitty situation there for them. But I think they've weathered that storm and apologized about it. So
here's my question to you: is it owned by Google or Alphabet?
Brave? No.
Yes. All right.
There you go. Leg up. You good? You're in?
I'm in.
Decoy, did we talk about Moonbirds already? We talked a little bit about how the raffle is going down and the kind of ETH that's locked away for that in the meantime.
Do you want the pitch? Do you need the summary? Like, what is a Moonbird? Or did you want anything else? Let us know, Decoy, because we could do that. Just
Spencer Dinwiddie, the NBA Dallas Mavericks he plays for, is launching new sneakers that display.
You think those are ugly? Those are fly. I would love. I'd wear ETH one. I mean, Bitcoin. Those are going to zero. But if I would love an ETH one.
Yeah,
those are ugly. Let me see your shoes. Put your shoe. Aim your shoes up at the camera right now. No, just kidding. Go ahead, read the article.
I'm wearing my shoes right now. No, I like my Allbirds. Okay, well, I take it back then. I guess I'm not cool and hip. The NBA star has partnered with BitRefill to create Bit Sneaks, and they air quote, so they don't take themselves super seriously, I guess, a super silly pair of kicks that display Bitcoin's price in real time. I mean, I guess if you want to walk around with this and show everybody that you're a Bitcoin maxi, you could be doing these. Come in a fancy little case there. I think the biggest thing about this is that they do cost one whole Bitcoin to buy, which at the time right now is about $40,000, $41,000 when this article was written. So yeah, I guess maybe if it was an ETH shoe, you'd be in.
Yeah, definitely. I saw yesterday a kid on a skateboard going down 2nd Avenue who had like a screen on his t-shirt, and I was like, oh my god, NFTs are about to go to the next level. Like I don't even know what it was. It wasn't an NFT, but it was really impressive because it didn't look bulky. It didn't look like something weird. It just looks like a normal t-shirt with a screen on it with stuff moving around. And I was like, huh, we're getting there. It looks like we are right. We are right at a point. You know, I say this a lot. I think it's worth reiterating that it's just, yes, we have these $400,000 monkey JPEGs, but how do you show someone you have a $400,000 monkey JPEG? Like, the most elegant way is your watch. And even that's a little, you know, you want ways to flex and wear and share and show these things that you love without it being intrusive. You know, fashion isn't intrusive like putting your phone in someone's face and saying, look at my JPEG. So these type of things make me really excited, because I think hardware, I mean, I say it all the time, hardware is one of the things that's going to take NFTs to another level that we're not really experiencing now. I mean, the creative limitations of all you can really do is make something that goes on a screen right now, that's about to be shattered, that glass ceiling. So I think it's really interesting.
That's a good point about the shirt there. Yeah, I could definitely see some real use cases in that regard. And you know, the fact that it kind of immediately popped into your head when you saw it was pretty cool too.
Yeah. So here's, well, I'll just tell Decoy, because he wants to know like the basic thing with Moonbirds here, what's going to happen. I mean, there's 2 raffles, right? There's one raffle where you could just straight win a Moonbird airdrop to you. There's only 3 of them. It's going to be like 1 in a million shot.
Yeah.
And then there's yeah. And then there's the normal allow list raffle, of which 10,000 people will win and be able to buy their Moonbird in a very easy, gasless, orderly way. Not gasless, but you understand. No gas wars, very, you know, easy mint for everybody, whatever. Obviously, they're 2.5. The line that I'm hearing in most alpha rooms is they'll open around 4 to 5, which is what most people who have missed it tell me they're willing to pay, as these feel like they have 10 to 12 ETH programmed. Very, very short term seems to be extremely bullish, in my opinion. That said, where were the proof passes before Moonbirds? Let's just analyze this, okay? Proof passes were at about 50 ETH. They're up to, what is it, 89? Am I seeing there?
Honestly, yeah, 50 is actually about right. Yeah, 88.
No, they were at 50. Now. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. You're correct. Sorry, I thought it was.
And now they're at 88. Now, why have they gone to 88? Is the proof collective any more valuable than it was before Moonbirds were announced? Is it any more popular? Maybe it's a little more popular, but Moonbirds on some level is a dilutive event for them. What makes this 1,000-person collective of the most important VCs, artists, and collectors in our industry valuable, partially is the fact that it's relatively small. You're about to add 10,000 people into there. So naturally, the alpha in there is a little less effective, because now you have more eyes on it. That's number 1. All right. Number 2, this is the most hyped event in NFTs in a couple months. This is what everybody's thinking of, everybody's looking at. And NFTs are attention tokens. Now, all the attention is on proof. They're becoming more valuable. After this seminal event, after the initial hype of, oh, anybody that missed it has to get one on secondary, they pay 4 and 5, pushes it up to 10 and 12, maybe proof briefly gets over 100 ETH. Well, then what are we left with? We're left with a dilutive event, a product that is slightly less effective than it was before, because now you have more people sharing the same alpha, and everybody kind of holding their dick like, what next? Now, I'm not bearish long term, but let's just analyze this for the hype cycle that it is. Moonbirds has pumped the price of proof. The public is going to pump the price of Moonbirds, and then there's probably going to be a crash. If you want a Moonbird for the long term, I wouldn't chase over 4 or 5. All right. If you are lucky enough to get one in the raffle, of course, then that's going to be your decision. Do you take the very nice arbitrage opportunity, or do you stake and hold a proof? I guess that's up to your liquidity situation. But I guess long story short, I see these opening around 4 or 5, getting up to 10 or 12, and then falling right back to that 4 or 5 over the subsequent, 3 weeks or 4 weeks afterwards. That's kind of how I see Moonbirds going. I guess the counter argument to that is people really want to be in Proof Collective. Most of the people who get these are going to want to stake them. That's going to put a very, very low supply on the open market, and that will cause the pump. Now, to me, that's why they get to 10 or 12 over those first few days or the first week or two. But my question is, does that mean they continue to push it? I guess that would depend on how valuable people felt like over those couple of weeks their entry into the Proof Collective was. What did they get out of it? We'll see. I guess also you have that time factor. Like, are people going to be curious about how long do you have to stake it to get the highest echelon of privilege? So, maybe there is that as well. It's very brilliant Ponzonomics, for lack of a better term, right? Like, we don't. This is what all of this shit is. It's a promise, right? Nobody knows what's in this magic gated collective except the 1,000 people that are in there, and you're being sold a promise of, like, I'm going into this. I'm going to get this now. Maybe it is where, who knows? Maybe this is the one. But until then, this is very clever Ponzonomics about keeping supply low, keeping people waiting for that promise and that next magical big thing that's right around the corner. This is the industry we're in. So,
well, and whenever you're accepting a promise from somebody, like, you look at their track record, their past track record of delivering, or their experience level with it. This is a pretty good person to kind of accept a promise from. There's, a clear track record of success, value delivered in the Proof Collective, which is why this thing is as hyped as it is in the first place. The art looks fantastic on it.
I love these little Moonbirds.
Yeah.
They're very fun.
They look really good. But, Kevin Rose, the connections he has, the value that Proof has delivered, or the Proof Collective has delivered to their respective holders, has been incredible. And this is a bet on that they can do the same for 10,000 people, right? One of the big mistakes that 888 made right from the get-go, and we can go into that into great depth, even though I don't want to, was if 888 had started with an 8,888 collection, the conversation around that project would have been entirely different. Right. But he wasn't able to build value into a nearly 10,000 profile project pass collective or collection. Jesus. And, it kind of all crashed. He didn't really know how that was going down. He didn't deliver great value. If it was 888, it might have been an entirely different story. We're seeing Kevin Rose, Proof Collective, 1,000 on the initial collection, having a long-standing track record of success. Therefore, moving into a bigger realm is a lot more tangible, or a lot more palatable for people, right? So I do think that that's a big part of it. In terms of what happens on the secondary, I tend to agree with free market. Somewhere around that 10 ETH could be a high watermark for it. I think that initial spike in volume is going to be a lot of speculative traders, people that get it for 2.5, saying, I'm just going to take my free 2.5 ETH and sell it for 5. Nice profit, great win. Here we go. That person at 5 is probably betting on the fact that it maybe goes to 8, 9, 10, willing to flip it. I think once the dust settles after that first initial, like, really, really high volume spike, I do think that these things are going to start getting staked. There's going to be a lot of people that are just wanting to be in this and have the ETH to kind of pay 5, 6, 7 for that. And once they're staked, of course, as free market said, and one of the big concepts around this whole thing is that it is time-based. There is going to be a reward for keeping it in that staking contract as long as possible. And the supply will get pretty tight. I think in the coming months, again, if that promise to deliver value to the community is fulfilled, these things will get very, very high up there. I'm actually more curious, not that it really probably affects anybody listening here or myself or you, is what happens with the proof collective pass, right? Because it's hard to see a lot of that value being removed from it already, right? Like I don't think that that's the case. I think people wanted them to get their hands on this, but I don't think they're going to just dump it afterwards either.
Yeah, I mean, I do think they will eventually pull back to 50 here.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh yeah, I think they're going to go right back to where they started. Why did they pump to 90? There's nothing new with Proof Collective. It's because of Moonbirds. And again, logic, I would love to have somebody come up here and explain to me the bull case for adding 10,000 people to an alpha room like this. Like, explain to me how it's not.
I just want to think about it this way, though. If you're talking about the Proof Collective being this, 1,000 elites, and they will still have their own area, it's not like you're adding all 10,000 people to this ecosystem. Would you bet that all of this 20,000 ETH that's about to enter, from Moonbirds would be a huge driving factor in creating value for those holders too, particularly the first 1,000?
Don't know.
That's just how my mind's working. I'm like, they're about to be
I really
influx
and
of
that's
a
the
really
thing. I'm
incredible
not
amount of money.
Right. I'm not being bearish here. I think
no, I don't think you are either.
It's cool. I don't know. I think I would like to understand it. I would like to understand what the benefits are more to really get my head around what the value is here, because
I'm trying to remember these. Sorry, keep going.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm trying to remember when Moonbirds was announced, because I'm looking at the sales activity chart of this, and it's not like these passes ever really like ripped. Like they didn't get like super high volume. We're still talking only a couple a day for this, right? And I just wonder if that was just because there was such low supply up for sale and people not wanting to, you know what I mean? It's kind of one of those weird dynamics where the supply was so low that it was only probably like 30 passes to 88 ETH anyways.
Dekenza is pointing out that 888 deleted some of his early Twitter posts about how his holders would retire on his stuff. Well, guess what? The SEC didn't delete them. They're right there in the archive. So I wouldn't worry about that, Dekenza.
Generational wealth. That was quite the time. And they did pretty well for a while until they started dropping the projects that they were supposed to deliver on. Still waiting for the Coolpets one. Yeah. Interestingly enough, when you're looking at the Proof Collective action, someone accepted a Wethor offer of 35 ETH 2 days ago, and somebody accepted one of 60. So I guess
well, I mean, are they moving at 89 ETH? How many have sold at 89 ETH?
No, they're moving at around 80, but like I said, not fast. These never have seen like a huge spike in activity. The volume looks great on them, but this is really just like a couple of sales a day, right? So yeah, I mean, if you need that liquidity, you need the liquidity. I get it.
I mean, apes don't see a ton of sales a day. It's they're obviously things of this price don't see a ton of sales. I'd like to see a volume profile on.
Yeah, it's like comparing a Lamborghini dealership to a Ford dealership. Like they don't.
Who's doing Volprof on NFT collections? I'll pay you handsomely. Get me that data.
I was always a little bit surprised at how many Bored Apes sold in a day, but like looking at OpenSea, it's 6, 7, 8. Like that's still a ton of volume. So. Thank you for bringing up Moonbirds. Obviously we had mentioned it and we were going to talk about it, but it's always good to rehash that, especially as we kind of come to the conclusion of this over the weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun to at least watch it go down and see, how close we were to thinking this through, because there is always the potential that like that sell pressure is incredibly high, but I think that there's enough people there that will buy.
I'll probably take you up on that, Neckfuss. Did you see the homie E-Milf? He's down bad in Miami. He just got back to DR. Boy gets on a plane to Miami, down bad. Shout out E-Milf. It's going to get better. You'll be good. By midday, he's going to be dancing. He's just...
Down bad for what?
Nothing.
Oh. We're having
you have to worry about that. I'm talking to Neckfuss. Yeah.
All right. Why does Neckfest come up and host the show with you?
You could just put but when you see me do that, you just put the comment up on the. Oh, don't worry, Neckfest. We don't have to go too deep. Just like email won't be going too deep at all today. Anyway,
I saw this article. Article pop up. Kevin O'Leary is advising on this project, NFT.com, and how they aim to take on OpenSea. Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary and CEO Jordan Freed share their plans to debut a community-governed NFT marketplace. I'm still kind of learning about this. I watched some videos with Jordan Freed, well-spoken guy, typical Silicon Valley CEO, head of out there doing marketing blitz. But they purchased the domain name NFT.com for about $2 million, a nice little sum of money for whoever grabbed that one. But they are looking at building a more of a social marketplace where, more of the peer-to-peer communication exists. When you open your NFT profile on NFT.com, you'll be able to get a social token that is deposited into your wallet. That is your access key into that profile. And of course, you could sell it or move it around to different wallets if that is the case that you want. But they are also releasing a 10,000 NFT collection that will be done or that will act as the governance tokens for the DAO that they're creating. DAO, another buzzword that we always talk about. It's going to be community governed, blah, 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 blah. I don't know how impactful that is, but with a name like NFT.com, I got to imagine that, especially as we look towards mass adoption and whatnot, that is going to be a very easy place to gather attention and get people on. I am a little bit curious as to the social aspect of this. I think the big things that we're lacking is a native social experience on blockchain and around NFTs. I know that MetaLink is doing a lot to try and create something like that as well. But I do think it's one of the big shortcomings of OpenSea is that there's no real communication methods there. This has some big names. Cosmo is giving it his stamp of approval, as you can see on the website. Cosmo de Medici. I'm thrilled to support NFT.com in their quest to build a true creator-centric platform. We look forward to showcasing the Medici collection and sharing tales of the works of art. Kevin O'Leary, of course, from Shark Tank, is an advisor on this. And the big kind of thing that they are saying is that this is for the community and kind of by the community and not accepting big VC money like we've seen with things like Looks Rare and whatnot. Whether or not you think that's important is for you to decide.
I just want everyone involved in this to know that if this is the reason that Looks Rare is down another 14% today, I have a very, very particular set of skills. I will find you.
Keep going.
That's it.
That's it.
Nothing else needs to be said. I think they understand what I'm alluding to here.
Sounds familiar. I don't think I've ever heard that line before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you can go check this out for yourself, watch some of the videos. They are doing a raffled list here that you can sign up for, email address, Ethereum address. So if you think that there's going to be value in this, go for it. I mean, personally, if I'm gonna register for it, but I'm just kind of betting on the fact that NFT.com is such a strong name that it's probably gonna do well. That's my opinion there. So, but
LooksRare.org.
Okay, let's move on. VEEFriends, we mentioned a lot of ETH waiting in the wings for that. They did launch the collection. They had to put a pause on it. They kind of did it in stealth to see what would happen, see what the kind of volume was, but they're really, really struggling to get this off the mat. Maybe a little bit of a black mark, but we'll see. Floor is still sitting at about 1.376. Not a ton of volume, as of course there is still like 36,000 of these to be minted off of the friends list. Of course, the VEEFriends holders get their stab at them, and there will be a public sale of 10,000. So, I mean, I do think that you will see people buying these right now, loading up on them. It's a Gary Vee project. The VEEFriends is obviously incredibly successful. But personally, I wouldn't be aping into it at this price because I just have no real knowledge of what a 55,000 NFT collection looks like, and a 2-week allow list process, and a 10K public sale. Like, I'm trying to put all of this together in my head and see where it goes. I do think that there will probably be lower entry points than this 1.38 floor right now as more of these come online. Obviously, almost 98% of the supply still left to be minted. But I do think that it will hold above its sale price of, I think it's like 0.33. So yeah, I mean, if I'm going to be sitting here looking to get into VEEFriends Series 2, I'd probably be looking for under 1 ETH for sure.
Yet they've sold 400 of these things on the secondary already.
They have moved. Yeah, I think it's just that initial excitement. I mean, there definitely is volume going on with it. The volume of it, 400 ETH, but
man, it just shows. It really just shows marketing, right? Because like you just said, by all logic, with 98% of the supply yet to be minted,
yeah,
you would think price is going to come down and people wouldn't be so hasty. But 400 people out there felt like it was necessary to spend $3,000 to acquire one of these now, and that's just genius. Hats off to Gary Vaynerchuk.
I gotta say, like, in terms of the art, what they've done with it, I think you mentioned that it's better than the first round of them. I don't know if I agree with that. Honestly, these are like just like pretty like generic cartoon characters. I almost like think that some of the hand-drawn artwork, as low effort as it was, has more character than some of these.
Whereas I believe the most overused and ridiculous premise in NFTs right now is the idea of utility.
That's a big conversation that's been going on huge. Yeah,
I don't think people understand what utility is, whether they deserve it or not. Why should the controversy over Drifter Shoots, his latest open edition, is mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling. I have been watching open editions for a long time. This is not a new phenomena in NFTs. This was not a stealth mint. This didn't surprise anybody. Y'all know how open editions work. I'm up here telling you exactly what's going to happen with the X-Copy open edition. You could have figured out what was going to happen with the Drifter Shoots open edition. Everyone, it was a cash grab. What, are you kidding? Everyone was celebrating and lauding, he's so great and innovative in the days they were doing. That was your chance to fucking complain. Not after the guy makes $6.5 million. Boo-hoo, he made money. You paid. Now you're mad it's falling on the secondary and you expect him to give you utility? Fuck off. His utility was climbing the goddamn bridge. All right? This is ridiculous. And then that's one conversation. The other conversation is, what the fuck is utility? You don't even, the term is being used for things that don't even apply to what utility could actually be. Okay. Yet there are projects like VEEFriends in which the art is telling you these are all utility. This has nothing to do with the art. And it's obvious, and it's not being cheeky. We're not saying like, this is the emperor wears new clothes and real people with the real eye can look in and see that this is good art. No, this is fuck you art. This is doodles that Gary made on the back of a napkin to show that NFTs can be more, but he can do it. He's Gary fucking Vaynerchuk. These smaller projects that are putting out art, if you go and buy it, you're buying art. Fuck off if you want utility. Fuck right off.
I mean, a legitimate art market has existed for a long time, well before NFTs. Nobody,
spoiled ass traders, I want number to go up. Fuck you.
Nobody bought a Warhol and went up to Andy and said, "Great, I'm so glad that I have this. Now what are you doing for me?" Right? Like, is that like just too basic of a comparison, or is that where we are? Like, art for art's sake has always existed. Art to form a community around it has always existed. Art to be part of something has always existed.
But
I'm all for utility in NFTs if it's built thoughtfully, properly, and but slapping a DAO sticker on it and said, "Cool, now you have a DAO," and everyone's like, "Fuck yeah!" Like,
we're all sitting around here understanding that NFTs are more than what they are, that the technology can do so much more, and that there's so many ways it could go. That doesn't mean everyone has to go those ways. That doesn't mean every project needs to utilize every facet of NFT technology. Guess what? It's great for just art too. It's really good for just proving fucking provenance. That's more than enough. There's your utility. You know that Drift did it and put it out. That's your fucking utility. Calm down, you spoiled brats, and stop buying open editions if you think it's going to be a trade. It's an open... This is so fucking easy. This is like something that you could figure out in second grade. It's an open edition. Everybody who wants one is going to buy one. There's not going to be any demand on the secondary.
Yeah, we went through that with X copies, right?
Yes.
It's like, oh, why is X copy doing so bad? I'm like, it's 20% above floor price, and as many people could have minted them as they wanted.
Right. And the people who weren't smooth-brained enough to mint these at mint off the site because of FOMO and hype, now you can buy it at a discount. And as the collector base grows exponentially over the next 3 years, that supply is going to get low. And these are going to moon, just like X Copies Afterburn Edition did from last year, which went from, at the time, half an ETH. I don't remember where ETH was. They were $900, but it went from $900 to a 7 ETH floor right now. I think they've cooled off since.
Which one was that? Sorry,
Afterburn.
Oh,
Afterburn.
yeah. Yep.
Right. So they got up to, I think, about 7 ETH. All right. And at the time, it was the same thing. It was an open edition. Everyone who wanted it bought it. There was a little itty bitty pop right afterwards. Then it crashed to mint, or a little bit under mint, and it sat there for a while. Then the NFTs got hot. Collector base grew. Afterburn became a small supply. Xcopy added utility. And you know what? I bet Drift wanted to add utility down the road. Now he's like, you know what? Fuck you. These are just pictures now. I've decided. Fuck the utility I was going to deliver, you spoiled brats.
Come climb up this skyscraper with me.
Come on. Yeah. You go climb up there.
Yeah. You just say that's the utility. How many people actually take him up on that? Because I know I wouldn't. And then I would just.
I know some people that will during NFT NYC. So stay tuned for that. Alpha leak.
Just make sure you wear your safety belt, free market.
I don't know what you're talking about. No one said. No one said free market.
No, I know. I'm just kidding. All right. That was a good conversation. Nice little sidebar there. Brought up Max Payne and Friends by X Copy sitting just below mint price. So if you thought anything that free market said just holds true, doesn't seem like a terrible entry price either. Collector base gets bigger. These supplies stay the same.
I actually think it'll go a little lower because the customer base was different this time. Mm-hmm. You had a ton of new buyers who didn't quite get open editions buying these. So I actually think the Max Payne and God, is this part of the art, X Copy? Did you know this would happen? Like, I feel like you're so brilliant. I think this was all part of it because, as we know in markets, Max Payne is when something has gone so low it compels you to sell at the bottom. All right. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to happen to a lot of people with these that expected them to moon. So Max Payne going for Max Payne. And yeah, if you're liquid in a few weeks, in a month or two, I'd pick a few of these up. You got, again,
I was just going to say, like, if you ever see these sitting at about 0.5 and you have extra liquid and you have a real time horizon. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But if you have a real time horizon and you're willing to let these things sit in your wallet for 2-3 years, I mean,
it wasn't even that long for Afterburn. Afterburn was last February. Okay. And by December, I want to say it was 5 to 6 ETH. I think it topped at 7 recently, but this isn't a long time, right?
Dickenza, Max Payne is expecting a reveal from an open edition.
I know.
Yeah, so true.
That was remember how they even got it to pump above mint price right after this open edition was the rumor that this was going to reveal into some sort of
right.
Ay, marron a mi. Jesus Christ. Well, Well, whoever did that was able to get their exit liquidity, I guess.
It is what
Man,
it is.
think about that. There are the people who bought the open edition thinking it'd be a flip. Then are the people who bought 20% above on the secondary. Rest in peace.
Free Market's literally just walking away as he's saying that. He's going to punch a hole in his wall or something. Let's talk real quick about Alien Friends. I saw somebody say that Alien Friends Evolution is going to be the next NFT bull run. Here's what I have to say to that. Alien Friends has exceeded every expectation it possibly could. So it's hard for me to say that I could ever bet against them. They obviously launched into that cohort of Lil Lemon Friends, Alien Friends, of course. That was 0.025 and 0.02 mint price respectively, and then Cool Man's Universe, which was a 0.1, but they basically minted back to back to back. I think it's safe to say the Alien Friends, the original collection, I don't have it pulled up here, would be kind of the de facto winner of that kind of squad. It hit as high as I think 5 ETH very briefly off Gary V's, the Gary V mania that ensued with him, you know, promoting it and loading up on them. Still holding a 1.6 floor, which is great. I mean, these NFTs are fit for success. I've seen real world meetups where people looked like they were having a lot of fun. They've built a really strong community behind it. 25,000 ETH in volume. So again, like I said, hard to bet against Alien Friends. We do talk a lot about companion collections and when the right time to do it is. We're going to talk very briefly about Coolpets and Cool Cats too.
They fell to 1.64. Is that refreshed? They were 3 ETH yesterday or the day before.
Oh, was it really? Okay, so like that's where I went wrong because I didn't check that. Yeah. Hey, shit. There you go.
Holy shit.
My mistake. So I guess that was all leading up to the
predicted that. Who, I ask?
Well, and here's the thing, right? When we talk about these projects doing companion drops like Bored Apes with Mutants, like Azuki's now with their beans, and Azuki's timeline is incredibly accelerated, but the point still stands. You hit these upper echelon of floors where you just can't welcome in a lot of new people into the ecosystem. 3 ETH is not that for Alien Friends.
Fuck you need a companion collection for. They're about to fall to the companion collection price.
Yeah, exactly. Less than 4 months from their inception and sitting at a 3 ETH floor, which is incredible. Nobody is saying that that's not even 1.64 is great, but it was too soon for them. And that's the problem here because they've fractionalized their collection too much. And it's kind of taking a hit here.
Imagine having the hype of Alien Friends, the unique holder count of Alien Friends. You have the fucking unicorn of the last cycle. This is improbable. This is amazing. You now have this
bigger gain from mint price than Azuki, by the way.
You now have this fucking amazing thing that, hey, maybe we didn't expect this. This is crazier than we thought, but let's nurture this and turn this into something. No! What they decide to do is cash grab the fuck out of their own community and then anyone else who's stupid enough to buy into this. I am utterly shocked at this. This is, who needs a fucking companion collection when you're sitting at a 1.7 floor? And that's where they were before they announced the companion collection. Well, guess what? They pumped to 3 ETH. People went out there and paid 3 ETH, and now they fell 50%. And what are you getting? Dilutive supply in a collection that doesn't need it. This is the most asinine thing I've ever seen. Yeah, it was free, and you don't think the community is also buying more of these, JCV?
Well,
you don't think Alien Friends went out to buy more of these?
They were airdropped, and that's where a lot of people get that airdrop and then list, and down goes the floor. But the other thing is, too, that they opened it up to the 67 holders to mint first for the allow list at 0.25.
Yeah, probably I'm sure none of them bought more. I'm sure they all just took the free one they were owed. Yep.
My point about all of this is just that, look, it's April 15th this morning. NFT NYC is in 2 months, right? 2 months puts Alien Friends at 6 months since launch. They have time to continue to grow, continue to build, continue to nurture that community, throw a huge fucking party, take a page out of Bazooki's playbook, get people really excited for that, and then drop the bomb that, boom, check your wallets. By the way, there's an incubator in there. Like, they could have just taken the same playbook. That's my feeling for it. Now, I'm not trying to sound salty. I mean, Alien Friends has a great track record of success at this point. It is by and large crushed it. So I'm not bearish on this. I just, companion drops are such a tricky thing. And a lot of times, even holders can just do that. When's ours? Look what Azuki did. Look what Bored Apes did. To a lesser degree, look what Coolpets did. And sometimes you can be your own worst enemy. I would have waited 2 months to do this. That's all I'm saying. That's my personal take on it. But I mean, I've loved what I've seen out of Alien Friends thus far. That's just it. Yeah, JCV. I mean, you're saying, like, let's be real. The salt is here. Aliens is what Lemons never became. There's no denying that. It's there's for sure. Nobody is saying that, like, Alien Friends doesn't have a track record of success. Why can't you have a companion drop to offer an even lower entry?
Because there's no demand. Entrants? That's what a 1.7 ETH floor price indicates, is that there's no demand. That if there were demand, they'd be 5, 10 ETH, and then they would need a companion collection. There's no demand.
1.7 ETH floor is still a pretty achievable entry point for a lot of people. Obviously, not everybody. Why can't 0.3 become an affordable new entry? It is. But again, you've pulled that value out of the base version of the NFT because you've fractionalized it too early. Anyways, that being said, I mean, we could turn this on Tuesday or Monday and Tuesday, and we're having a whole different conversation and it rebounds. I'm not saying that. It's just companion drops are just such a tricky thing to pull off properly. And if I was, asked before Alien Friends did this, I would have just said you need a little bit more time. So anyways, that is it's all good. Like, if you are an Alien Friends hold bought early or you minted, I mean, you're laughing. Like, that's incredible. You did you won. It's not about that.
I
just don't want to see.
I sold them and I sold them above 3 ETH, and I love Alien Friends for that. I'm talking about why they would drop a companion collection with such a low floor price. I'm not just talking about Alien Friends. You don't have to get butthurt about your collection. I own them. I sold them. Thank you, Alien Friends. Great ride. The point is, there is not going to, and sure, did they create a short-term hype cycle to spur demand right now? I saw people in the alpha, should I buy an incubator? Should I buy an incubator? Should I buy this? Should I buy that? We'll see. I hope you're right, JCV. I hope that I got mad friends in this thing. I hope I'm fucking wrong and have egg all over my face, because I want all of them to make money. But I am calling it like I see it. I am not analyzing this because it's Alien Friends. I'm analyzing it because I believe companion collections dropped early before they're justified are pointless cash grabs. Why not just nurture the Alien Friends collection? Their biggest idea was giving away a fucking Tesla. I mean, come on. When raffles are your roadmap, come on. That's asinine. This is asinine.
You think 5e entry is acceptable for Azuki?
No roadmap should be the roadmap. I think roadmaps are poison at this point. I wouldn't even put out a roadmap if I was a collection. The idea should be to develop community and culture. That's what Alien Friends should lean into. And wow, 3 months later, they're going to do a 24-hour spaces. Like, that hasn't been done before. Foundational community versus high unique holders because of Gary V hype. There's a difference.
All right. On that note, let's talk about another companion drop. Coolcats finally got Coolpets off the ground. We're 2 months in the making for this. It's been a long ride for Coolpets holders. This has been interesting to say the least. I've seen a lot of mixed reactions about some people saying the game is great, a lot of fun, it's going really well on Polygon, the transactions are super cheap. Other people saying, I can't believe I waited 2 months for this. The price action on not only Coolpets but Coolcats was pretty wild yesterday. Coolpets ran up to about 2.2 ETH at one point. They were flying and then just crashed back down as the game came online. Looking at Milk Token, same kind of story there, sitting at about 0.03. Oh, I'm talking in ETH terms. 3 cents, just about 4 cents right now. So it's live. People are playing it. People are enjoying it, and we'll see where it goes from there. But it's been a long time coming. I don't own any of these, so I can't tell you what my experience is personally about playing the game. But as I said, the results have been somewhat polarizing. Just searching Coolpets on Twitter, you see some people applauding it, like having a great time with it. I'm making some great yields on it. 3,000 milk a day, $120 per Coolpet seems great. Other people just saying, I sold this immediately. I don't want to even be a part of it. It's hard to say. You never know what people's motives are. You never know what the bag holding situation is that they have. But yeah, we're here and we're gonna keep a close eye on it and see how the weekend goes for Coolpets.
Yeah, this was launched yesterday, and while I think the people that were able to get on and play said that the experience isn't good and we're having a good time, not everybody could get on. There seemed to be a bit of a waiting line. I think proof is going to be in the pudding at this point, right? Is this fun to play? Are people going to actively play this? I mean, obviously, we're at max FUD, right? Like,
yeah, I think so.
Milk is down, and everyone's grumpy, and nobody's happy that this blah 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 blah, right? This is basically going to really come down to how well people like playing the game going forward. And I just don't know. I don't think we're going to know that yet. I think that, like I just said, the benefit here is that it's max FUD. I'm not sure it's going to go any lower unless people don't like doing it. And for all of us that kind of bought Coolpets, were excited for it, got frustrated and grumpy, like, I don't even care to try. Now, that's not to say that if all of a sudden everyone's like, oh my God, this is the best game ever, and Milk starts to rally, and this becomes one of the more profitable P2Es, I'm sure I'll want to rush in. I have no indication that's the case right now. And I just think that we've said this all along. While it may not have been as evident beforehand, it seems that they missed the mark a bit here with Cooltopia. This isn't their competency. I think that Coolcats lost its way a little bit, and it's going to take a very good game that people want to play to get them back on track here. So I don't want to make any judgments now. We've seen a lot of delays with these type of games, and now the game is here. So let us see if it is fun to play. All I've heard are mixed reviews, so I don't know who to believe yet. Give these things a couple weeks. We know that in, say 1 to 2 weeks, we will understand whether people like this. It usually takes a little time for these to hit their groove. So I wish them all the luck, because now they have tied the underlying price of Coolcats to this game and to this token price. So live and die by the token right now. And they didn't have to do that. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, the delay is, we've said it a million times, obviously really, really not good for this. Looks like they ended up getting it right, which is great. But what happens when there's a delay of this length, and we see this in traditional gaming all the time, is that those that are, at least in NFT sense, holding the NFTs, but those who are sitting on the sidelines holding belief in this project launch, the further that delay happens, the more unrealistic the expectations start getting in your own mind. And that's just human nature. The more you have to wait, the more time investment you've put into this wait, and then you load it up and you go, oh, that's it, eh? Like Free Market said, it's going to take a couple of weeks to see if the people that are enjoying it are still enjoying it, and if the people who immediately loaded it up and said they didn't enjoy it either continue to play and say, actually, this is pretty cool, or maybe get some FOMO and be like, shit, I sold this, or I wasn't paying attention, or I didn't care about this, but people are clearly still enjoying it. I got to get into this. So I do agree, like max FUD, max pain, whatever you want to call it there. I don't know if it's completely the bottom, but I do think at this point it's out in the open. The yields are being generated, and the assets are going to be tied to the token, at least in the short term. Coolpets having a little bit of struggles with their floor price. Saw a lot of downside volume as it dropped down to, I've seen some of them go for under 7 ETH. Definitely not the norm, but they seem to be holding strong around 8 ETH right now, which is actually, I think if this continues to be okay, a pretty good entry point for Coolpets. But yeah, now is the point where we start to see it shake out. How did the tokenomics play out? How do these, quests hold up? I've seen people saying they've completed like 40 out of 60 and earned 0.25. Like, that's fantastic. If that's something that holds up and there's like an active enjoyment in playing the game, it could be very good. So at this point, we're just waiting for some of these to pop out, people to start feeding them, evolving them, and of course seeing how much demand there is for the token to play the game.
We wish the cats the luck. WLTC. Wrapped.
All right, what else do you got talking about? I have a couple of the anime projects pulled up. Cass brought up Hikari yesterday, sitting at a 0.3 floor. Reveal is different. I think that this is good quality anime art, but it doesn't like speak to me. Personally, I prefer like the clean lines of Izuki and whatnot. People seem to be really excited about this project, though. Floor taking a little bit of a dip since we checked on it last. Sorry, I asked you what you had going on or anything you wanted to talk about, and then just took the mic.
Do I have anything to talk about today? I don't know. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's the middle of the month. It's going to be a good. I don't know. Everything feels very good to me. I don't know. Again, I think this weekend we may get a little Goblin Town. So just watch out for the Goblin Town. But that could be
bearish action. Yeah.
The old NFTs there.
Yeah, I think so. You guys mentioning Galverse, Shinsei Galverse minted to 0.07, if I recall correctly, and it's sitting at a 0.5 floor. So that's been a great cook. 2.2K ETH traded on that, sitting pre-reveal. Again, and it's fascinating how anime centric the market has become, and I'm just trying to keep up with like what looks good, what's not. I'm just using my own personal opinion. Definitely getting some strong Sailor Moon vibes from it, if I could recall correctly from back in the day. But people also seemed very excited to this. So I'm curious as to like how long this like abundance of anime project supply will last for, and where this kind of like getting to be large cohort of them that have launched in the last month doing. But Shinsei is, or I guess Galverse, I guess people are calling it, is crushing it too. So that's been good. Yeah, Neckfast saying anime greater than any other trend. Yeah, I don't actually believe that it's even a trend. I just think that it's such a cultural mainstay around the world that this is just always going to be a big segment of the market, in the same way that I believe gaming is. I mean, gaming has just turned, like even traditional gaming just turned into this like just massive industry, and it's getting to the point where anybody below a certain age plays video games. It's not even a question. So, do I think that this is a trend? Maybe we're getting more of them right now and it's just kind of in vogue, but I don't think it's ever going to slip away like some of these other trends or metas that we have can do. So that's my kind of take on it. But yeah.
Yes, sir. I like the preview image. It gives me feels.
This one up top here?
No, the preview image.
This one?
The pre-reveal image. You moved us away from. We were jamming out.
This one.
Yeah, that reminds me of the club and hallucinogenics.
I didn't even mention that the Gary V, the VEEFriends V2 reveal image is actually a game.
Oh, it is? Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. You could go in there. That floor is dropping a little bit too, by the way. So I just 1.15. Yeah, it's kind of like a Flappy Bird. Oh, I just died. Flappy Bird style game. You got to collect those cocoons and money bags
about that. Like, it's a good format.
Yeah,
like there's something that's very sad about the floating and the tapping.
Yeah, you got to dodge the I guess the other VEEFriends. They're not very friendly in this game. Oh, the background changes. Twitter. We didn't even Twitter. We didn't even talk about just the Elon saga. I guess it's not really that important at this point. But
yeah,
Elon, obviously,
Elon does something. There are other people respond.
Elon doing Elon, yeah.
Elon stuff.
It's such a fascinating human being. Anyways, I don't know how long I can play this for, so I'm gonna do that. People actually, I think he did a new piece of Elon sitting on top of a giant blue bird.
Yeah,
as Beeple does Beeple things. All right, my friend, we have a day. We got we're doing a Twitter Spaces at 3, I think, with for Starwolves. Is that right? We're gonna do a community space to talk about the community bounty.
We are super exciting. The community bounty program. Go to the Starwolves Twitter to check out what we're talking about, but even better, tune in to the Starwolves Spaces later today. We're going to schedule that, and we will tweet out the exact time in the Discord. And we are going to go over what that bounty program entails. So check that out, and more about that later today.
I just saw an NFT ethics thread on Moonbirds that released while we were live here too. Some people contacted us to ask our opinion on Moonbirds. That is minting tomorrow for 2.5 ETH, which would take more than 75 million USD out of the ecosystem as usual. Many are afraid to speak out because they don't want to offend powerful Web3 NFT influencers and VCs. I'm gonna read this in private. It's pretty long, but I mean, whatever. Another hit piece by NFT ethics, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, excited for that space, excited for getting some people involved in, you know, the conceptualization of what we've got going on in the Starwolves, and really looking forward to seeing what people kind of come up with too. So excited to kind of talk through that during the spaces and whatnot. So hope you guys join us. We'll probably get a giveaway going there too. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, and have some fun on Good Friday.
Cool. Love it. Good Friday, the best Friday. You know,
Best Friday. Let's rename it Best Friday.
No, I think next year we do Great Friday, and then the year after that we do Best Friday.
All right. 2022 Good Friday, 2023 Great Friday, 2024 Best Friday.
Yep.
Our own personal Good Friday roadmap there. There we go. All right, my friend, we are going to wrap this thing up. If any of you guys tuned in late, I appreciate you tuning in. We talked about crypto moving sideways. Could be a little bit of a bearish weekend. Long weekends sometimes have that effect, but we are testing the support levels pretty actively over the last couple days. We got Bitcoin sneakers. You can display the price of your Bitcoin on your sneaker as long as you want to spend $40,000 on it. We talked a bunch about Moonbirds in there. We talked about the NFT.com upcoming marketplace that's looking to make a dent in OpenSea's stranglehold over the NFT market with some social elements. VEEFriends Series 2 launched, delayed, whatever. There's about 1,000 of them left. We talked about that. We actually kind of springboarded that conversation into some other stuff. We talked a little bit about Xcopy, some open editions, Alien Friends. Incubator dropped again, so we're going to watch how that goes. Had a little bit of discussion with the audience on that. JCV, appreciate you jumping in there and having the conversation with us. It is from a counter standpoint to what we do. We always welcome the conversation, and disagreement's a good way to move any conversation forward. So love you, dude. Glad you were a part of that. Coolpets, Cooltopia, that whole thing is going down. Some mixed reactions to that. We'll see how it goes. And then we finished it off with some of the some of the anime meta again, some of those projects dropping. Guys, if you are in the Moonbirds raffle, good luck today. Hopefully see you on the other side. If you are fortunate enough to win that, definitely have some stuff to talk about on Monday regarding that. So we appreciate it. We appreciate your time. Free market, get us out of here.
Good luck at the tables, D-Gens.